Cleopatra VII, the most famous bearer of that name, was the daughter of Ptolemy XII, and she became queen on his death in 51 BC, when she was just 17 years old, where she ruled successively with her two brothers, Ptolemy XIII and Ptolemy XIV, until her death in 30 BC, that ended the rule of the Ptolemies in Egypt, where the country became a province of the Roman Empire. In modern times, there has been a fascination bordering on obsession with her, of who she actually is and what was her role in world history. National Geographic did a study on her and labeled her as the world's first celebrity. And Newsweek magazine also did a study on her where it questioned her racial identity, as she identified herself as a pharaoh of Egypt. But who was she, and what was her lineage? Ancient Egypt has been a wonder to the Western world for its deep preservation of its culture that includes temples, manuscripts, and human remains. But throughout its dynastic history, it has been invaded, occupied, governed, and controlled by foreign invaders that included the Mediterranean culture of southeastern Europe, Greece, that started from the 4th century BC. The Greek rulers adopted the religion of the northeast African culture, as this artifact of Ptolemy VIII, sacrificing to the bull god, confirms. The British Museum houses the best artifacts that will give us a good history of who Cleopatra was and what was her lineage. When Alexander the Great, the Macedonian ruler, died in his early 30s, his empire was divided between his 4 generals. Ptolemy I, a Macedonian Greek, governed Egypt and founded a dynasty that would rule for the next 3 centuries. Not only did he wear the crown of the pharaohs, his facial features are clearly Greek, as can be seen on this coin in the Greek section of the museum. Cleopatra, as can be seen on this coin, is depicted clearly as a Greek with the Hellenistic nose fold. The artists were very aware of who they were depicting. Mark Antony, who bore her twins, though a Roman, also has similar facial features with a similar nose fold. Julius Caesar, who also had a liaison with Cleopatra and apparently bore her a child, also has a similar nose fold. Cleopatra lived with him temporarily in Rome until his assassination in 44 BC. This Roman ruler that our 7th month is named after is said to have killed 192,000 men in battle. But his stepson and successor, Caesar Augustus, who he left 3/4 of his empire to in his will, with a huge fleet invaded Egypt in the Battle of Actium in 31 BC, where both Antony and Cleopatra committed suicide to escape capture. At the beginning of the Medo-Persian Empire in the latter half of the 6th century BC, one man wrote of the rise and the fall of Cleopatra centuries before she even entered onto the world stage, where she has been titled as the daughter of women. Who is this man who saw way into the future, and what significance or relevance has it for us in this digital age? We shall find out in an up-and-coming study on the Book of Daniel.